east side to the west side. So
does Compton fit in there?
Compton, of course, Compton's in there. Long Beach is in there too. You know? So I could see Harry O. You got to kind of created $1 billion company, a multi-billion dollar company. That's the most successful hip hop company in the world. Death Row tragically ended, but it's the most successful, better than Bad Boy and everything. So we put Harry.
He had top notch talent. Yeah. Top flight.
Man, he had Dre and Snoop. Then Tupac was just icing because they was already gone.
Right.
And then Harry showed him how to do all of that because he had a relationship with Dre, do Easy, and they maneuvered that. Then I would say Freeway Rick, Whitey from Whitey Enterprise. People will forget about Benzo Al.
I remember Alvin Daniels.
People will forget about him. We can go right to the west side to the Emperor, John L.
John L. from the 6-0s?
Yeah, John L. was
doing
things back then.
Okay.
Yeah, John L. was doing things. And then, back then, we got to remember Blackbird got killed on 3rd. He was madly popular. Man, I can go all the way back to...
what about Neville and
Well, Neville them a new age, but what was the Chinese guy name?
Oh, David Chang.
David
Chan.
David Chow. So David Chow was around, and then Neville them came on the scene. I want to say, he's slipping my mind, Jamaica's husband, because Jamaica is like a sister to me, but me and her husband wasn't that close. He got killed at the car wash. What was his name?
Oh, you talking about the karate guy, Bruce?
No, Bruce. Bruce was doing things back then too. Yeah, you gotta remember Bruce.
Ronald Abercrombie.
Ronald was okay. Yeah, but we want to stay away from people who.
Right. No. We don't mention none of that other stuff. No. But I'm talking about What about Pat?
Oh no, now we going to Compton. Pat was doing. Pat was pumped up in Compton. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of guys from Compton, so I know Richie Rich them that was doing little things over there on the west side. I know I know Kenzo them, the Bloods that was doing things out there. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people.
Yeah, I know Kenzo.
Yeah, Kenzo, good dude.
So the 80s, right? The 80s was like something that we never knew. We didn't know where it was going and where it would land. And I think had we had a little more information, we would have been a little more prepared, because I like to call it a Babylon mix-up. We was caught up in the Babylon's machine, and,
right.
Of course. and we didn't see what the real outcome would be, because I think it was it was set there for us to take the bait.
And, there you go.
And then at the end of the day, they came in.
Yeah. See,
go ahead.
We was lighting the world on fire. I like what Freeway Rick said one time, and he probably don't even remember it because I haven't seen him, heard him use this quote again. He said, "Man, we had the greatest distribution network in the world. We just chose to put cocaine in it, and we did, because that same distribution network was why you had so many popular black recording artists. And we went in that same network, and we could have put tennis shoes in there, and we put cocaine in there because we didn't know any better. We were 19 years old doing this stuff. You know what I mean? We started 17, 18 years old, and there's no mentor.
We wasn't fully developed. There was no mentor.
No mentorship.
We didn't know investments.
Oh, man, we didn't. Right now, I'm working on a movie set with a friend of mine. The movie's called Cocaine Sisters. It's about sisters selling. It's fictional, but it's about sisters selling drugs. And they got their whole organization set up and how they running it. And it's black owned and operated. And I talked to the little PAs, the personal assistants that work on the set. Is 10 or 20 of them running around from time to time. And I pull them together and I'll be like, man, you guys are in you have such a great opportunity here, because this is like being in the mailroom at a corporation and then you later the CEO. So you can run your company. If you watch and pay attention, you'll be able to run one of these companies later in life. And I said, we never had that opportunity. It wasn't no black companies that would hire us. We had to either find some white person that would hire us, or we just didn't get a job. You know what I mean? Now, blacks can hire blacks. And they are. They are hiring blacks. And I was so proud of that moment to see those kids running around there.
Doing
they
their
19, 20 years old. They ain't got to worry about selling drugs, killing nobody or nothing. They ain't even seen a gunshot.
Man, if they'd have had what they got now, man, because you can go work for Grubhub, Uber, Lyft.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Instacart. You can get all those jobs and boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And take care of yourself. We didn't have that in the 80s. It was a play that was forced on us to push us in a certain direction.
Well, I mean, we don't have to guess about that. I mean, they've admitted to that. Mm-hmm. Reagan said he took $200 million out of South Central to fund the Contra War. That's documented. You know what I mean? So we don't even have to guess about that. And then Rick got out of jail behind that. Maxine used that to get him out. You know, they didn't blame it on Reagan. They blamed it on a rogue agent. They didn't blame it on Oliver North. They got some rogue agent. Somebody took the fall, and Rick came out of jail. I saw Rick leave prison on a life sentence because of that. You know what I mean?
So there was Oliver North, Reagan, and Noriega.
That's right.
The three heads.
That's right. That's right. And then we got reports. We don't know for sure, but they said they built a special section of the jail for Noriega to do his time, and he had visitors come in and spend the night. You know, so that's the kind of time he did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like DuPont, when he killed a man on his property, they told him, okay, just go in the house for 5 years, go in the house arrest, lock yourself in the house. You know, we ain't gonna
much like what we're seeing what they're doing with Trump. We know Trump is very guilty of a lot of things, but they're.
Oh, yeah. No, he's been president. They will never, Trump don't have to worry about jail. People like that don't worry about jail time.
No. Yeah. You can see in his attitude.
Yeah, they don't worry about jail time. You know?
Yeah. So, John Boy, Young Tommy, Haney.
Oh, yeah. All those. I know everybody.
Okay.
I know.
I just didn't want to leave nobody out.
Young Tommy is, me and him, we were very close for about 3 years until I went to New York. I had a trucking company at 22, 23 years old, running across this country with cocaine in it. You know what I mean? So
let's talk about at what level did you actually take your business? Because I say, when they put me to feds, I tell people all the time, I was here because I was running a pharmaceutical. I just didn't have a license to run my business.
Yes,
I ran a business.
Right.
You know, so what level did you say your business, out of all the ventures and things you did, what level did you get to?
Well, again, we can just go on documentation, and you know, and documentation is always best. You know how we are from inside. We want to see it on paper because a mouth can say anything. True. So the feds say my operation was the biggest operation in America at the time of my arrest. So that's how big they say it was. Now you asked me in the beginning, is there any names that we can't say? So Lupita's name has been changed because she's alive and well and moving around on this earth. And I would hate for law enforcement to think they can pull up on her and arrest her if she's doing her thing. So Lupita was a lady that her husband robbed Dave. And out of security reasons or whatever, I followed Dave one day when they was meeting with her husband. Then I stayed with her husband. Me and my dude stayed with her husband, followed him, saw where his wife was, his mama looked like, because he dropped the kids off, and then he spent the night with his girlfriend. left the White House and went to the apartment building. We stayed with him all night at the apartment building. We see him drop his girlfriend off at a restaurant downtown. So that day, Dave, back then, keys was still $50,000 a piece. Mm-hmm. This is 82, 83. Mm-hmm. I think I just came home from Wayside. I just did a county lit.
That's when they can take a 1 or 1.5.
Oh, ain't no doubt. That thing was
bonnet.
Oh man, but so he goes and makes the deal with we're gonna call him Jorge. So Jorge takes the money, tell him the Columbian don't want to see him. That's before we was even dealing with the Columbians. We was still dealing with the Mexicans. The Colombians hadn't came in yet. And Jorge goes out the back door with the money. Dave called and said, "Hey man, the dude got me." I go get his wife. So we got her for 3 days. I make sure she okay. Nobody ain't touching her. Yeah, although they wanted to, but she was kind of cool looking. And no, we're not doing that. We got another agenda here. And after the 3rd day, it was time for her to say goodbye because her husband never came back. And they didn't want to see it done. Dave stopped that. And some kind of way she got Stockholm, the Stockholm syndrome. Because she slid back, found where I stayed, knocked on the door one morning. So I think it's a move. I tell her, "Hey, I got mine right in my hand. What's going on?" She's like, "No, I just need to talk to you. I need to talk to you." She gets inside and she goes in. Her husband is puto. He left me for dead. I need me a real man. I said, "No, let's keep this thing business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's keep it business." Right. Because she's telling me her family is the one with it and all that, and all I can see is more dollars. So, yeah, okay, cool. Make up for what y'all did. Run that, right? So she run it, and then she bring the other girl one day.
Was this Tina?
Yeah. She looked like a little man. She pulled her hat off. It looked a little better. Hair flowing. So Tina say, "No more her. We through with her. I got it. I supply her." So that's when we hooked up.
Is this when the Colombians came in?
Yeah. They weren't even speaking English. That's why they was using the Mexicans. Mm-hmm. Now they starting to speak a little English, and they cutting the Mexicans out. They cut the Mexicans. We didn't cut the Mexicans out. They cut them out. They didn't want to do business with them no more. They wanted to go straight with us. And then once they did,
because we was money makers. We was movers, man. We moved stuff.
Yeah.
But the Mexicans had to come to us to move because they didn't know how to move it.
Right. Yeah.
That was a process.
That was a process. But the reason they used the Mexican is because the Mexican grew up here and could speak English.
Right.
And they couldn't speak no English when they first came here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They were still speaking all Spanish.
So your book again, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure that anybody looking to purchase this book, where they get it, because it's a lot of excitement in this book, and y'all want to really read that American prison and read some real stories out of the 80s. You will go purchase this book, and you won't regret it, because y'all just heard that phenomenal story Tommy just dropped on you. That and more.
You should get it now too before the series come out, because American Prison is on the way. Terry Huff. Her dad was Russ Clavin. She's my producer, and she is actively going after a series for this book. We haven't found a distributor yet, but we do have people attached that's going to get it to Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. Right now, you can find it on wherever books are being sold. It's on Amazon. You can go right on Amazon right now, and you can get American Prisoner anywhere where books are being sold. Barnes and Noble. Kobo, anywhere books are being sold, you can get this book right now. It is hugely popular. You should go get it, because we are all American prisoners. And I talk about you being an American prisoner too, because you pay taxes and you are a slave to this system. So we're all American prisoners, some by our own designs, often by the designs of others.
There it is there. I'm Professor Melly Mel, Black Tommy, a.k.a. Tommy. What can I say, man? We're going to go ahead and lock the door, man, because we're going to have Tommy, when that movie come back, it's going to be like the 1st and the 15th. It's going to hit like dope. With that being said, yeah, go ahead and lock the door. We are out.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
And if they want to follow you or anything, do you have any like
Big TK Instagram, Big TK 26.
Big TK 26? There it is. There, Black Tommy, lock the door.
Proof of grind all the time, baby.
Yeah, Cali Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money, got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen.